Something big is changing inside US smartphones, and if you've bought a new device recently, you may have already noticed it. A feature that has been standard for almost 2 decades is quietly disappearing. No slot, no tray, no tiny ejector pin. Just gone. US smartphone makers are removing the physical SIM card tray, and most people don't realize how fast it's happening or what it means for the future of mobile connectivity in America. This isn't just a design choice, it's a strategy shift with major consequences for users, carriers, and the entire mobile ecosystem. So the question is, what happens when American phones go fully digital? Let's start with the basics. For years, a physical SIM card was your identity on a carrier's network. A small chip you could remove, swap, or move from one phone to another. It gave you flexibility, it made switching carriers easier, and it let you take control over your mobile service. But over the past few years, carriers and phone manufacturers have been pushing a new standard, the eSIM. Instead of a removable card, your number and network credentials are stored digitally inside the phone. And in the US, this shift is accelerating faster than anywhere else. Why? Because carriers benefit from it. An eSIM lets them activate or deactivate devices remotely. It reduces fraud, lowers logistics costs, and makes it harder for phones to be used across networks without permission. For smartphone makers, eliminating the SIM tray frees up internal space. It gives them more room for bigger batteries, improved sensors, and better waterproofing. And in a world of slimmer devices, every millimeter counts. But the real reason this change is happening so aggressively in the United States comes down to something simpler: control. With physical SIM cards, the user had the leverage. You could walk into any carrier store, grab a card, and instantly switch. But with eSIM, carriers become gatekeepers. Changing networks depends on software systems, QR codes, approvals, and back-end integration. The friction increases, and that friction matters. Now you might be asking, is this a bad thing? Is the loss of the SIM tray a step backward? Not necessarily. There are real benefits to eSIM technology. For example, you can have multiple profiles built into the same device. You can switch between networks without handling physical cards. If you travel internationally, many providers now let you download short-term data plans instantly. No kiosk, no plastic card, no hassle. In fact, that's one of the biggest advantages consumers will see. eSIM opens the door to a global marketplace of mobile service. You could land in Europe, download a plan in seconds, and connect at local rates. For frequent travelers, business professionals, or digital nomads, this could be a huge win. But the US market has its own challenges that make this transition messy. American carriers are notoriously protective. They want to lock customers in, they want to limit frictionless switching, and every shift toward digital SIMs makes consumers dependent on the carrier system, not their own flexibility. Another major issue is device repair and resale. With a physical SIM, switching ownership is simple. Remove the card, hand over the phone, and you're done. With eSIM, transferring ownership relies on software resets, carrier cooperation, and potentially long support calls. That raises concerns about second-hand markets, privacy, and long-term usability. Then there's the consumer experience problem. Not every carrier supports eSIM in the same way. Some have smooth apps that activate instantly. Others require manual steps, multiple codes, or in-store visits. And if you've ever tried switching carriers mid-contract, you already know how complicated it can get. But here's where things get more interesting. Removing the SIM tray isn't just about convenience or aesthetics. It's part of a larger trend in US tech, the move towards sealed, closed, software-controlled hardware. Think about it. Headphone jacks disappeared, memory card slots disappeared, user-replaceable batteries disappeared, and now SIM trays are disappearing too. Each of these changes shifts control away from the user and towards the manufacturer. It simplifies design, but it also limits flexibility. It makes devices cleaner, but also harder to repair. And it reduces user autonomy while increasing dependence on ecosystems and carriers. So, what does the future look like? For one, fully digital smartphones are coming fast. Some US carriers are already announcing timelines for phasing out physical SIM support entirely. New budget phones are beginning to ship trayless, premium phones are going eSIM only, and in the next few years, physical SIMs may become rare, maybe even obsolete. This shift will also reshape how Americans shop for mobile service. Instead of swapping cards, signing contracts, or visiting stores, mobile plans could become entirely app-based. Imagine signing up for a carrier like you sign up for Netflix, instantly, digitally, and without hardware. That's where companies want to take the industry. In the long run, this could open the door for new competitors. App-based carriers, cheaper short-term plans, and more flexible data packages could emerge. Without physical logistics holding them back, new mobile providers could enter the market faster. eSIM could actually increase consumer options if regulators and competition push in the right direction. But there's a flip side. If the US telecommunications market continues to consolidate and carriers become even more restrictive, eSIM could make switching harder, not easier. It could limit freedom instead of expanding it, and it could turn your phone into a device that's more tightly tied to a single company than ever before. So the big question is this: are eSIM-only phones a leap forward in convenience or a quiet loss of control for American consumers? Because one thing is clear, the physical SIM tray is disappearing. US smartphones are going fully digital, and the way you connect to the world is about to change faster than you think. The real challenge ahead is making sure these new systems stay flexible, open, and user-friendly, because once the SIM tray is gone, you can't simply put it back.